Hi, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can find those listed in the description box below. Today, we're going to be talking about the full moon in Capricorn, and this is occurring on or around the 24th of June, 2021, depending on where you are in the world. This is going to be a very powerful full moon for us when it comes to really stepping into our inner authority, really taking charge of our lives. And so when we're looking at this from a releasing point of view, we're going to be looking at releasing anything that stands in our way of doing that, anything that prevents us from really taking charge, from really moving forward, from really creating and implementing that structure that is going to allow us to continue to thrive in our lives and continue to accomplish the things that we're looking to accomplish. Capricorn is an energy that is ruled by Saturn. And so it is very much about structure. It's about boundaries. It's about ambition, right? How are we moving forward? What are we here to accomplish? What is the long game, right? What is the bigger picture? And how can we employ that bigger picture in order to work more efficiently and more effectively? And so it's definitely a more serious energy. As we're moving into this full moon, we're definitely looking at our responsibilities. We're looking at the things that we desire to accomplish. We're looking at our drive and, yes, our passion and our ambition and where it is that we are headed. It's very much an energy of where am I headed and what do I need to do to get there? Now, a really beautiful thing about this full moon is that we have Jupiter stationed right now. And when Jupiter is stationed, that means that Jupiter is at its full power, right? We're really feeling the energies. Jupiter is getting ready to move retrograde, but is right now standing still in the sky, at least to our eyes from our position here on Earth. And so with this energy and the fact that Jupiter is trining the sun and sextiling the moon in an exact 60-degree sextile to the moon, this is really bringing in that energy of optimism and luck. And so even though Capricorn is a more serious energy and we are looking at things more seriously right now, more realistically, we have that extra oomph from Jupiter, right? That extra blessing from Jupiter that is really assisting us in moving forward. It's assisting us in finding solutions where we are seeing that we may have an area where we're feeling blocked. We're identifying an obstacle. We're identifying something that needs to shift. Jupiter is bringing in those resources and those opportunities to make that happen. It's also bringing in and helping to facilitate that more expansive perspective. And so as we are creating this structure, as we are looking at what it is that we need to do in order to move forward, we're seeing that from a more expansive view. We're less likely to limit ourselves and we're more likely to expand beyond those limitations, right? Understanding, of course, that those limitations only come from our own minds, our own belief systems, and our own perspectives. And we are in a year that is very much about rewriting those belief systems. So this is a really powerful glimpse into perhaps some of those belief systems that are holding us back, that are restricting us, that are causing us to think small. Those may be revealed to us so that we can release them and move beyond them. And this is some of what we're going to be doing during the full moon releasing and consciousness raising ceremony. That is something that I'm now holding every month for people. It's a Zoom event. If you guys want to participate in that, it's a $22.22 donation to any of the links that I have below. Donate to one of my personal links and I will send you a link to the Zoom. It's going to be at 6:30 EST on the 24th. It's going to be really powerful. We had a really great time kicking that off during the eclipse last month. And so, yes, that's a big thing that we're going to be, a big energy that we're going to be working through is where am I making myself small? And how can I allow myself to expand bigger? How can my understanding of myself, of my capabilities, of my goals expand and encompass more of who and what I truly am? It's an energy, like we said, of stepping into our personal authority, of really becoming that take charge factor, that initiator in our own lives. And this is something that we've been looning, right? I'm thinking of Luna right now. This is something that we've been learning throughout this blue lunar storm galactic year, is how to be that catalyzing active force in our own lives. And so we're really getting more of an understanding of that with this full moon, and of anywhere where we still hold ourselves back from that, so that we can release that and move beyond that and create the life that we desire, create the reality that we desire to be a part of, create a life that feels abundant and joyful and prosperous and is full of love and all of the beautiful things, whatever abundance, whatever fulfillment means to you. This is a time to really look at that. Now, when we have this axis going on between Capricorn and Cancer, we have that balancing act that we're being asked to do as well. And so Cancer represents the home, it represents the family, it represents the nurturing and caring. So we're balancing, how do I nurture myself as I strive to move forward with my goals? How do I nurture my family? How do I balance the home life and the outer life? Right? How do I balance these different facets of my personality? So we're going to be looking at and examining those things. And those are some of those priorities and responsibilities that we are going to be looking at how to juggle. That self-care, of course, also being a huge piece. We are moving into Cancer season as well. And we will have just entered Cancer season when this full moon happens. And so, sorry, my words, we'll blame Mercury retrograde, but you guys know I get tongue-tied sometimes in general. But we'll have just entered Cancer season. So that self-nurturing piece, that self-soothing piece, that self-parenting piece is going to be huge, as well as we're looking at how to work with these energies. We have Saturn also trining Mercury, which will have just come out of retrograde and gone direct. And I'm looking at my chart to confirm. So this is powerful energy, because Mercury now having stationed and moved direct again, moving back through the area that it traversed during the retrograde, through that post-shadow period, yes, but still direct and feeling a little bit more put together, right? We're starting to, everything that was possibly a little bit unclear during Mercury retrograde is beginning to become more clear. And when Mercury comes into this conversation with Saturn, it's very much allowing us to see things as they truly are, to have that different enlightened perspective that we gained during the retrograde, but then to really apply that and to start to put together any of those pieces. Remember, during Mercury retrograde, we had Mercury in that square to Neptune, and Mercury has come out of that square to Neptune and come out of the retrograde. So it's come out of all of those confusing energies, all of those energies where we had some of the information, but we didn't have it all. We're beginning to receive more of that information now, so that we can understand what to do with it, so we can understand how to apply it and how to move forward. So a lot of that energy of moving forward. It's interesting to note as well that during this full moon, we have Venus making her opposition to Pluto. So Venus has been going through a conversation with Pluto since they had that square back in January, I think it was. Or that conjunction rather, sorry, not the square. They had that conjunction back in January. So moving back towards her conjunction, which will be later, I believe it's in December. It's at the end of the year that Venus and Pluto are conjunct again. So they've been going through this story together. And this story was a very powerful one. You guys might want to look back at the video that I did on the Venus-Pluto conjunction. I might link it in the description box below, because we are at a turning point in that energy as well, as Venus moves into opposition. The storyline from the time of the conjunction, the major points and highlights of this story come when Venus and Pluto square, when they oppose, when they square again, and then when they come back together. And so this is definitely an evolution in terms of our creativity, in terms of our self-worth, in terms of our relationships, and how it is that we relate to those, our deeper fears and insecurities regarding these things. And so we're going through a progression that's really what came out in that video, was that we are encompassing more of our soul light. And this is a story that we're going to be playing out all through 2022 as we have the Taurus and Scorpio eclipses going on. This bringing in more of our soul light. So it's a big evolution and journey that Venus and Pluto have been going on. And this is the halfway point in their journey together. So that's just another interesting energy that we have going on during this full moon, as well as a conversation going on between Mercury and the nodes, as Mercury is only 6 degrees away from the north node, opposing the south node. So this is once again that mind energy, our mind really coming into focus, our mind being focused on the future, being focused on the shifts, the changes, the evolution, and really continuing to release that past programming. So yeah, really profound energies. And interestingly enough, I want to start with the conscious spirit cards. Clear. Let's get some guidance for this full moon. What guidance do we have here for this full moon? What energies do we want to talk about? Let's see what information we can get here. All right, first card out is reach for your dreams. Perfect. I am the creator of my own dreams, and I achieve them with confidence. And so this is really us stepping into that role as the co-creator. Really looking at, I mean, we had, and I'm going to go back to the astrology chart here for a second. I believe it was an opposition, a loose opposition between Mars and Saturn. Saturn, who is now in retrograde. I don't know if I had mentioned that before. I don't believe I did mention that Saturn is retrograding now. And so this with the Mars opposing Saturn is us really looking at that, really looking at our confidence, really looking at our ability to assert our will, our ability to reach for our dreams, to create, and anywhere where we see those obstacles, right? And so this is us really stepping into that energy. See how she's reaching up into all of that beautiful light to pull down everything that is meant for her, right? But it's not by force. She's open to it. She's receptive to it. She's calling it to her. She's calling it in. This is the energy of calling in our dreams, which is really beautiful. Then we have 27, Spark of Divine. I reignite the divine spark within me and recognize I am a part of all creation. So that's that bringing that light in, right? Really, it's that fiery energy, right? There's, even though we have, this is the moon in an earth sign, there is that fiery energy that we're picking up on here, that spark that is reignited. That recognition of our connection to everyone and everything, and that deeper recognition of our purpose, of our dreams, and of the ways that we can go about fulfilling that. This divine spark within us, this is the spark of the Creator. This is us realizing and remembering, coming into a deeper remembrance of the fact that we are God, and everything that means, everything that entails. And then we have Flames of Wisdom, Crone. I am open to all of life's wisdom and share it with gratitude. So really bringing that wisdom in. This is also, the crone is when we're looking at, so the maiden, the mother, and the crone. This is in pagan tradition, in Wicca. They talk about the evolution of the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So the maiden is when you're new and young and fresh, and maybe a little bit naive, but very, very open, right? And then the mother is once you've matured a little bit, you have some of that wisdom to tap into. You are in that nurturing role. You are in that empress type energy, if we were talking about the tarot. And then we have the crone, which is the third aspect of the goddess. And the crone is that wise, that when you're reaching the end of that cycle, of that journey, and you have all of that knowledge, you have all of that wisdom, this would be like the elders in the tribe. This would be like our ancestors. This would be all of that sacred knowledge. And then it's like knowing when you have that knowledge, when you have the wisdom, right? All right, so there's a distinction. The mother has acquired the knowledge. The crone has acquired the wisdom. And so it's that mature energy, right? When we're working with that Capricorn energy, that next level of maturity that we've reached in our own lives, in our creative process, in our level of autonomy and sovereignty as souls, and in our ability to express our divinity through the manifestation of our dreams. And then we have a nurturing heart mother. So we have the crone and the mother. Isn't that interesting? I am a protective spirit and reach out to all life with love and compassion. So this is that Cancer energy coming in now. We have the Capricorn energy with the crone and the Cancer energy with the mother. And so that balance that we were talking about, that nurturing, that wisdom, the wisdom of the nurturing heart, understanding how to nurture ourselves, how to nurture others, and how and where that aligns with our dreams, how we can apply that nurturing to our dreams, how can we allow ourselves to be nurtured as well as to nurture. And for many people that like sort of came out, part of your dream, part of your path involves being this nurturing and protective force for life, for the planet. We've gained a lot of wisdom and perspective around what it means to be a mother, what it means to be a nurturer. And then we have nature spirits coming out. Card number 35. I don't know why I wanted to say this number particularly. I respect all of nature's elemental beings and help preserve life on Earth. Yeah, so this is a big part of the purpose that we're stepping into. A big part of the dream for many people is nurturing nature, nurturing the earth, bringing this new earth, nurturing this new earth into being, right? And then abundance on the bottom of the deck, which is, of course, what brings in the abundance. All right, what else do I want to pull for cards here for you guys? I want to do a couple Star Temple oracles. Clear. Let's get some guidance for this full moon. We have the Star Daughters dance. I dance, sing, and play with my sisters at sunset. So this is them reminding us that we nurture that spark of the divine within us that allows us to manifest our dreams through our joy, through our play. It's like this Capricorn energy is really calling us to get serious about things, to really reevaluate our responsibilities and our priorities, and to structure everything in a way that really supports us achieving everything that we're meant to achieve. The Capricorn Saturn energy wants us to achieve things, but it wants us to know and understand what's necessary, what it takes in order to do that. And so we're definitely feeling that energy, but at the same time, they're like, sing, dance, play, be joyful. This does not have to be a somber process, right? We think of the energy of Saturn as a somber type of an energy, but it does not need to be. We can learn lessons with joy. We can fulfill our responsibilities with joy. We can have joy reaching for our dreams. Spirit is saying, if your process of achieving your goals and your dreams is not joyful, then maybe that needs to be reevaluated. Why is that? Why is the joy being drained from that experience? Is that truly your dream if there's no joy in it? Or is it that there's a lack of nurturing that is causing that lack of joy? Maybe it is your dream, but you're not nurturing yourself appropriately. You're not connecting appropriately. You're not applying the wisdom that you've gained in order to be able to connect. So it's like if you're someone who has been striving for your dreams, but you feel like you've just been putting in work and there's been no play, there's been no joy, and you're noticing that you're not feeling that connection, that heart connection to it, it's time to slow down and really evaluate how you can bring more of that joy and more of that heart connection into your experience. And the Star Temple Oracle is a Pleiadian deck. And so there is, when we're working with this deck, we're having the Pleiadian energy coming in. And so, of course, this would be what they're reminding us of. They're also reminding us that you have a community. It says, I sing, dance, and play with my sisters at sunset. All right? So this is about bringing in our community, allowing ourselves to open up to that larger community, looking at who we have in our corner, who we have in our community, who we have that is part of this dream. Are there other people that are a part of this dream? Can we connect with them? Can we simply celebrate how far we've come, celebrate our accomplishments? They're wanting us to celebrate too. This isn't just about the nose to the grindstone. It's like, look how far you've come. This message has been coming up in multiple readings this week. Look at how far you've come. Celebrate that. Sunset is the end of the day. So this is like, what have you accomplished that you can be proud of, that you can take a moment to celebrate? Can you? And that energy is then going to really draw in more abundance and more of your dreams and aspirations. And then we have the morning star radiance. I shoot for the stars. Radiance is my birthright. So that's that energy of not limiting ourselves, not holding ourselves back. Huge, huge message coming through here. Allow that Jupiterian energy to really help you to soar higher, to help you to expand your vision, to help you to think outside the box, to not sell yourself short. You are radiant. Radiance is your birthright. So don't aim low, aim high. And as high as you're aiming, you can probably aim higher. And this doesn't mean put the pressure on yourself of, oh my God, I have to do even better. Oh, my dream has to be even bigger. It doesn't have to be like that. Just be open to the fact that your dream could expand far beyond what you know, and you are capable of far more than you think you are capable of. That's a huge message that wants to come through. You are capable of far more than you realize. So open your awareness up to that. You are a divine spark of the universe. You are a spark of creator. You are creative consciousness. So know that and own that. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have birth, the universal midwife. I birth fruitful and sacred assignments. So really moving into that creation energy coming through strong. What are you wanting to birth? What are you wanting to create? That mothering energy coming through strong in this reading too, right? That Cancer polarity going on with the sun in Cancer. Beautiful. This card is just so gorgeous. This is also like, allow yourself to be nurtured by the universal midwife, by the sacred mother. Allow her to hold you and nurture you as you go through this process, as you expand into more of your radiance. Any other guidance that wants to come out from this deck? And that's so funny because this was on the bottom of the deck and then I kept shuffling. It's the Amber Star, let go. I surrender and allow myself to grieve. So this is that energy of release that we feel with these full moons. Surrendering, letting go of whatever it is that you are holding on to. And I'm feeling for some people, you may be in a period right now where you had certain dreams and aspirations, and then you realize that those didn't resonate with you anymore. And now it's like you're reworking that and you're trying to connect more to like, what are my dreams and aspirations now? Right? And there was an identity. There was an identification with your former dreams and aspirations. Like they helped you get a sense of who you were. And you've lost that sense of who you were a little bit because you've lost your I don't even want to use the word attachment, but your connection to your dreams and goals. And now that you're shifting, those are shifting. And so you may be in a period of having difficulty surrendering that, having difficulty letting go of that, letting go of the identity that you built around those dreams, letting go of all the time and effort that you put into making those dreams a reality. I feel for some of you, it's even like that dream came to fruition and then you realized it's not what you want. And you're just like, well, shit, I just spent, 10 years in school, or I just spent all this time growing this business, or I put all this money and this effort and this love and this care into this thing, and now it's not what I want, and like, what do I do? And so it's like, you can grieve that. And you should, right? Because we want to acknowledge all of our emotions. Otherwise, we end up holding them in, and they end up compounding and just causing us problems on multiple levels. And that's all coming up right now anyway. It's pretty much impossible to bury things at this point in time in our collective evolution. So allow yourself that process of grief, but surrender that. There's nothing else you can do. If it doesn't bring you into this energy, then it's not for you. And it's okay. It wasn't a waste of time because you learned so much. And I guarantee whatever you learned from what you were building is going to be necessary in order to create what you're meant to create next. what you're meant to birth. What is your sacred assignment? That's what a lot of us are coming into. And so that would be the same as our mission, our purpose. Yeah. Any other guidance wanting to come out here? We have Tangetta, the storyteller. I am the narrator of my life. And then we have Athusa, sun goddess, liftoff. I open my senses to feel delicious pleasure and passion. So that's interesting energies coming out there. So we get to narrate our lives. We get to, and this is so much, so, all right, this is interesting. The narration piece, right? The way that I'm feeling this now is, this isn't even so much about, yes, we get to write our own story. We are writing our own story. But the way that we narrate that experience is what determines the way that story unfolds. And what I mean by that is, what meaning are we giving to the things that happen? What perspective are we viewing that from? What is the voice and the tone of the narration? For those of you who are literary buffs, what is the tone? What is the voice? How are we narrating that story? Can we change the way we narrate that story? Can we give it different meanings? Right? Can we gain different insights from it in order to shift the energy of it? So that's really powerful. Can we bring more of that joy in? Can we bring more of this passion and this pleasure in? Because that's what they're telling us right now, is that we're meant to have that passion. We're meant to experience that pleasure. Life is not meant to be a dry experience. And if life is a dry experience for you right now, it's time to inject a little juice in there. Right? We want life to be juicy. It's meant to be juicy. And so how can you juice things up a little bit? How can you allow that energy's wanting to come in for you? So how can you allow that energy to come in for you? And I want to pull a couple Intuit oracles now. Clear. All right. Let's talk about these energies here. Let's get some more guidance from the Intuit oracle. Bringing in the pleasure, bringing in the passion. It's like I'm thinking of, and this is probably because of the diet that I've been on lately, where I've needed to eat. It's been very, very strict, and so I've been eating. There's been a lot of meat involved in my diet, interestingly enough. And so I'm thinking of the analogy of like when you're cooking pork or something, you know, and if you cook it too much, it gets super dry, and nobody wants to eat that, right? So it's like I'm imagining our lives, the difference of like being like a dry, overcooked piece of pork, or being like that really. I'm also really hungry right now because I haven't had time to eat yet this morning, so that may be why this analogy is coming out. Do you want it to be like a dry piece of pork that feels like rawhide while you're chewing on it, or do you want it to be nice and juicy? Do you want it to be tender, right? Like, what is the energy, and flavorful? Because you can have it either way. And the way that you narrate your life is plays a huge part in how you experience that. What that tastes like. It's like taking a bite out of life. That's the phrase that just popped into my head. So let's get some more energy here. Whoa, okay. That's not as much as I thought. Oh, it's kind of a lot. That's kind of a lot. That's too many. Let's get a little more specific here. These cards are very slippery, so sometimes we just have a whole bunch fall out. All right, this was much more. This card absolutely was like, okay, you need something to pop out. You need something that's clear. And so this is all about, this is the dog. This is supportive friends, pets, siblings, soulmates, faithful companions. And that came out with the wolf, which is confidence, guidance, instinct, believing in yourself, resilience, stamina. So that's the energy that we're cultivating with this moon right there, with that wolf energy. And so with these two energies together, it's really interesting because I'm seeing, like, the dog is a tame version of the wolf, right? So are you ready to untame yourself? Are you ready to voyage out into the wild? Do you have the confidence? Do you have the trust in yourself, in your inner guidance, in your inner knowing? Do you believe that it's possible? Spirit is telling you, you have the resilience and the stamina. You have what it takes in order to move forward. All of that lies within you. And the white wolf, often when I pick him up in a reading, I feel him coming through as a guide for people to show them how to connect to that. So that may resonate for some. But just know that you don't have to be the lone wolf. Even though you are voyaging, there is a big aspect of this journey for us that is learning how to voyage and set forth on our own. There's also this energy here of like, you don't have to do it alone. You do have these companions of destiny. You do have these soulmates, these friends, these people who are there who want to support you. And so allow them to support you. Those of you that do. Those of you that don't, know that they are coming. But know that you have all you need already within yourself. Pioneer coming out. I love that, right? Blazing that way forward. Blazing that new trail. And it may be that as you begin to blaze that trail, for those of you who are like, I really don't have anyone in my life right now that I can depend on. I can only depend on myself. That sort of energy. First of all, that's a belief system that is creating a reality. But also that may be true. Some of us have gone through these periods of isolation and we have needed that. It's been necessary. But as you continue to move forward, those companions of destiny will be drawn into your life. But it's like navigating that uncharted territory, that boldness. That's the energy that we're being called to embody right now, the resourcefulness. Trusting your instincts. You're really being called to trust your instincts right now. Your instincts are spot on. And then we have the key coming in here with the letter. So solutions, insight. So there may be important communications coming through as well around this full moon. And those communications may provide insight that we are desiring right now. They may unlock something. And these could be communications from people. These could also be communications from your spiritual team. So just be aware. Just be on the lookout for those. Be open to those and how those communications show up for you. I'm also feeling like some people, you may want to do some automatic writing during this full moon. Or some writing in general where you just channel through writing. Because you could discover something when you let yourself sit down and you just start writing with no agenda, without trying to plot it out in your mind first, and you just allow it to flow freely. That's what we call automatic writing. It's really great to do after meditation. You could channel some information and some solutions for yourself. And we have cards 33 and 27 here with this particular message, as well as 8 and 7. I feel for some people too, you could possibly receive communication from a former friend or somebody that you were connected with that you kind of fell out of connection with. And they may be offering some sort of assistance to you. And if so, that is feeling positive. And then we have the anchor, stable, enduring, solid, long-lasting. Once again, fortitude coming through over and over again. And those are, resilience and fortitude are two of the most profound traits of the Capricorn energy. So we're really being called to cultivate that in ourselves, to call upon that within ourselves. Too many. I said too many, but you know what's interesting here? So we have the stallion and the butterfly. So the stallion is about breaking free. And the butterfly is about metamorphosis, change, and reinvention. So we're really being called to reinvent ourselves. to break free. This is that breaking free and allowing the metamorphosis to happen, breaking free from all of these limiting beliefs around all the things that we've talked about today, really breaking free from anything that is holding us back. This is as we're evaluating our responsibilities, our priorities, where it is that we're wanting to be headed and what it is that is either helping us or hindering us. We're being asked to break free of whatever is hindering us, whether this is a physical 3D thing or situation, whether this is something within our own minds, within our own hearts. Break free, bust out of that. And then we have the Cancer and the Capricorn cards that came out here. So I thought that that was super funny because that is the polarity that we're working with right now. Yeah. Yeah, and so it's this energy, this internal struggle that many people may be going through during this full moon, where it's Cancer is also our sense of security, right? It's very self-protective. It doesn't necessarily always want change. It's that super gentle energy. And the Capricorn is that tenacious, disciplined, realistic and goal-oriented energy that wants to push forward, right? So that push and pull between wanting to stay safe in our shell and wanting to push forward. And that Cancer energy definitely being felt strongly, even though this is a Capricorn moon, that polarity is Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So really the balancing of those two areas within ourselves coming up is very important. And then Scorpio, which is that sign of transformation, of psychic energy, right? Of passion, also determination coming through in the Scorpio card, right? Fixed water. So that very determined, fixed quality that we're being asked to call upon as we move forward. And we also, of course, have Cancer and Capricorn as cardinal signs. These are initiating signs, right? So we're being asked to initiate. We're being asked to hold and stay that course. These are also timing cards. And so I'm feeling the Scorpio card for the timing. This represents fall time. It represents a time period of about 3 to 6 months. So really seeing shifts and changes I'm feeling for people within the next 3 to 6 months. Like concrete physical changes around whatever actions you take during this full moon, during this time. However it is that you allow yourself to move forward. Yeah. All right. I'm trying to think, do I want to do anything else? Yeah, we'll pull a couple pull a couple Wisdom of the House of the Night cards. Clear. Let's get any closing guidance here for this Capricorn full moon. Yeah, on the bottom of the deck here, we also had more of that nurturing energy coming in. I nurture and nourish my body, mind, and soul. And under that, more of that passion energy coming in. I'm entering a portal of euphoric love. All right. So passion and nurturing, passion, determination, and nurturing. Big themes coming up right now. So we have the Oath coming out. And right now I'm feeling this as making that promise to ourselves. Right? Sometimes when this card comes out, it is reminding us of the oath we made, of the contracts, of what we agreed to when we came down here on earth, right? But this is also the promises that we make to ourselves. The promise to love ourselves, the promise to be compassionate with ourselves, the promise to follow our purpose and our passion, right? The promise to continue to evolve. What promises can you make to yourself during this full moon that you intend to keep? And then we have the moon coming out with the wishing. And so this is feeling like, even though this is a full moon and it's a lot about releasing, we're also being asked, and we have that horse energy coming through again down here. Movement, change. We're also being asked to under the light of this full moon, to set some wishes, right? She's sitting on a wishing well. And so to set some intentions as well. to pay attention to what it is that we are desiring and to put that energy out there. Because remember, we have this heavy Jupiterian influence. This is bringing in resources. This is bringing in solutions. This is bringing in, like we said, for many people, these companions of destiny. So what is it that you are wishing for? This is also like wishes that were made and promises that were, wishes that were made and promises that were kept, that were made, that are being fulfilled around this time. And then speaking of fulfilled, we have fulfillment and love. So there may be fulfillment coming in for people around love as well. You may be reevaluating and reassessing what it is that brings you fulfillment in love, in matters of the heart. In any aspect, this doesn't have to be romantic love, but for some people it absolutely can be. Right? I mean, underneath the passion card, we had the lovers, beloved Zeus, cosmic union. So for some people, it definitely is cosmic union and then divine child or holy child. But remember, there is also the child, the holy child that is birthed from the union of the creation energies of our masculine and feminine. So this could be just what we're birthing into the world. But for some people, it could literally be coming together in some type of outer union as well, or bringing in and calling in the energies that will lead to that. But we're really understanding our priorities and our needs when it comes to love as well, when it comes to fulfillment. So we're being asked to set firm intentions for that. We're being asked to make those promises to ourselves that we intend to keep, surrounding what we allow, what energies we allow in our lives, what we're willing to accept from ourselves and from others. And when we set those firmly, and we set those, and they are representative of our true worth, that's when this kind of energy can come in. And then we have the Grove. And I'm going to read about the Grove a little bit. So this is about healing. Showing compassion, tenderness. Healing the heart. Yeah, so there's a big heart healing energy coming through here. Allowing our hearts to heal. Allowing, for many of us, we've gone through this process of having our hearts splintered open to allow that light to come in. So now we're being asked to allow that healing to take place as well. And from that healed heart space, from that place of knowing what it is that we deserve, what it is that truly fulfilled us and not settling for anything less in any aspect of our lives, that's what brings in this beautiful energy. And it's also that energy of resilience coming through again. Your heart is so resilient, right? And that's what we learn. When we get our hearts broken, when we heal from that, and when we emerge even stronger than we were before, we understand the true resilience of our hearts. They may seem fragile, but they are anything but. Love is anything but. So really open up, allow yourself to open up to that love and all the expressions of that. All right, I love you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. As I said, the information for the full moon releasing ceremony is down below. I would love to see some of you there. I know whoever's meant to be there will be. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to do so. And if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and hit that like button. It is much appreciated. I love you guys. Drop a comment. Let me know how these energies are feeling for you, how they're resonating, and just how you're doing, because I love hearing from you guys. And I will talk to you all very, very, very soon.